Picture this. You rely on SSI to cover your most basic needs: rent, food, medicine. Now imagine, overnight, those benefits are cut by hundreds of dollars, or even disappear completely. That's exactly what could happen to nearly 400,000 seniors and people with disabilities under a new government proposal. Today, we're diving into what this rule change means, who's at risk, and what you can do right now to prepare. Stick with me, because this is information you can't afford to miss. The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities recently confirmed that the government has proposed a new rule targeting SSI. This isn't just rumor or speculation. The proposal is already published on the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs website. It's currently pending review, but make no mistake, it's moving forward. And if approved, the change could drastically reduce benefits for hundreds of thousands of vulnerable people. To understand why this matters, let's break down how SSI works today. If you receive SSI and someone helps you, maybe they cover part of your rent, or they let you live with them, the government counts that as income. This is called in-kind support and maintenance. That help can reduce your SSI by up to 1/3. For most people, that means about $300 less per month. But there's an important exception. If the household receives public assistance, like SNAP, food stamps, then those cuts usually don't apply. In 2024, SNAP was added to the list of exemptions that protected families who were already struggling. Now the government wants to reverse that decision. They want to take SNAP off the list. And the Social Security Administration's own numbers tell the story. More than 275,000 people would see cuts, and another 100,000 could lose eligibility completely. That's over 375,000 lives disrupted. An adult with Down syndrome lives with her parents. Her parents receive SNAP to help pay for groceries. Under current rules, her SSI isn't reduced. But under the new rule, her monthly check would be cut by 1/3. That's money she needs for clothing, transportation, or medical costs. These changes could force families into heartbreaking decisions. Do they stop helping their loved ones just to protect their benefits? Or do they risk losing the only financial support keeping them afloat? And it doesn't stop there. This rule would create a mountain of red tape. SSI recipients already have to constantly report changes, like rent increases, moving, or who's paying for what. These complicated rules are already the #1 reason people face overpayments and clawbacks. In other words, the government demands money back months later. Adding hundreds of thousands more people into this system, it's a recipe for disaster. So who's most vulnerable? Anyone living with others who also receive SNAP. That's nearly 400,000 people nationwide. The hardest hit states will be California, New York, Florida, Texas, and Pennsylvania. Smaller states like Alaska and Wyoming will see fewer cases, but no community is completely safe. Here's the hard truth. Since the rule is still pending, there's no official way to challenge it yet. No petitions, no comment period. But you can prepare. First, make sure you're staying informed. Subscribe here, because I'll be covering every update as this moves forward. Second, if you think you might qualify for SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, start exploring that option now. Unlike SSI, SSDI doesn't penalize you for help from family or friends, and those benefits tend to be more stable. I know this isn't the news anyone wants to hear, but being aware and prepared is better than being blindsided. So let me ask you, do you think it's fair to cut SSI for people living in households that receive SNAP? Or is this crossing a line? Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to tune in tomorrow, where we'll talk about the growing housing crisis affecting seniors and people with disabilities. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and take care.